yeah, I just had to remind myself that my digicam is better than just taking cutesy pictures, and that it actually records. And sure, I must say I've always wanted to start a YouTube channel, ever since I was a kid, girl. Ever since I was a kid. Like, hopefully I can insert some clips here.
Go down to you, I don't think you were trying to be.
Oh my word, I love YouTube. Okay, let her get used to it all. I need to like focus on how lighting and stuff adjusts. Let me actually just sit down. Let's sit down and do an introduction, shall we? Just excuse my current bestie who's hitchhiking at the moment, but I've always wanted to start a YouTube channel. Like, if you know me and if you've been in my space, like, I'll always usually have like a YouTube video playing. I like either podcasts or a YouTube video to like keep myself company, I guess. Ugh, why is this out of focus? So a little bit of lore about me. I'm an only child, so I've always entertained myself with like reading, talking to myself, obviously, recording myself. Oh my gosh, I had this like Acer laptop where I would record myself. If someone had to dig up the memories from that laptop, yo, you would see like the developmental stages of my life and why I am the way I am. On the set agenda is that I've got a vocal lesson from 2, so that's really exciting. I love my vocal coach. Shout out to Adele. And then yeah, play everything by ear. Things that I need to do admin life wise. I need to go grocery shopping because I was recently in Durban and my apartment is very much, it's just freezer stuff and things that I usually have in the fridge at the moment. So I think let's make some brekkie. Let's make a cute little brekkie, because if I get to the gym, it's probably going to be in the afternoon, so I might as well just make something to eat, or else I'm going to be hangry. And y'all, we'll see the day takes us. This is to combat flu season, girl. I don't know if you can hear, but there's a lot of construction in my building and it's actually driving me insane. But that's why I'm always kind of venting, because I can't be in here. A cutesy little living alone hack is if you don't always consume a lot of bread, I like to freeze. So I get my sourdough from Spar and I like to freeze it and like put it in these freezer bags, but whenever I do have a craving for some sourdough, I just put it in my trusty dusty toaster. Oh, that's the other way around. Yo, I'm proper running out. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm ready for my close-up. I'm getting ready to do my self-tape. I just want to look alive. I'm not doing anything hectic on my face, but just want to get the skin looking fresh and fabulous and, you know, looking alive. This is the Switch Beauty, what does she call that? Superhero spray. She's got niacinamide. I've been using this for the longest time. I'll say it's like the cheapest glowy good skincare kind of spray, if that makes sense. Like, it's not like a makeup setting spray, it's just something that you spray throughout the day. I also love the Lelive one, so they always tussle each other. If you're not familiar with like acting and film and TV commercial language, a self-tape is something that you send in if you aren't going in for an audition. By the way, I am an actress, so yes, this is a self-tape for a commercial that I need to send in by 3 p.m. today. I think it's currently like 11, or just before 11, so I just want to get that done before I go outside, obviously. Even though I have graduated, I always like to upskill myself. Like, I feel like just because you've graduated doesn't mean you can't carry on learning. So my vocal lessons are obviously to carry on with like my techniquey bits, but also just to carry on learning. Like I was in a show earlier this year, and I'm so grateful to have been continuing on with my vocal training, because sure, I really admire performers and artists. Obviously they're probably more proficient than I am, but I admire performers and artists who don't necessarily maintain their vocal training with a coach. They probably have found their own methods and ways, and absolutely shout out to them. But I just love my coach, and I love being held accountable, if that makes sense. Like I know that, okay, if I haven't practiced, oh, Adele's gonna hear it, or if I have, you know, but obviously I will most likely reach the stage where I don't necessarily need to see her every week, but I do love doing it, and I'm grateful that I'm able to afford it as well. There's a window behind you, and I like doing my makeup here because then I can see how it actually looks like. I feel like whenever I do my makeup in my mirror, it's like I'm being lied to somehow. And of course this pimple wanted to appear on the day I have a self-tape. Of course. One thing I love about creating content and social media and utilizing it in that way is that one day I want to be able to like look back at these videos. Like imagine looking back on the year, your first year of working. Looking back at the first year where you've just graduated, like, oh, this is like, I feel this is the best year to vlog. I've always wanted to do like long form YouTube videos. I was considering it at uni actually, but oh girl, that time, ooh, I must say, if you're stuck in the performing arts, there is hardly, I don't even know how I started content creation. There is hardly any time if you're like committed and you're passionate, because there's a lot that goes into it, I must say. Not that there isn't a lot that goes into other professions, but the performing arts is your mind, body, soul, spirit. It's something else, I must say. It really is something else, and you have to be passionate, because it isn't the most steady career. It isn't something that, you know, like, oh, once I'm in the industry, I'm gonna be so famous. Absolutely not. And I feel like doing it for fame is also a bit problematic, because girl, it just doesn't work like that. But obviously Delulu is a Salulu. That's why you need to be passionate at the end of the day, because if you aren't getting jobs as consistently, you need to be able to know that, okay, I want to continue with this because I love it, not because you want to be on a big stage and famous. Do you know what I mean? Okay, surely that concealer has blended out. Is my chin too dark now? But thing is, I don't necessarily want to add concealer there, because I don't want to highlight the squatter that we have on my face. I don't even care about that stuff, like skin, and oh, that was something that I stressed about in high school. Not that I don't care about it. I don't care about having blemishes and pimples, and you know, it is what it is, especially after coming off the pill. That's some more lore about me. Is I came off all forms of birth control, the pill, everything last year in May. Gosh, so it's been like a solid year of me being off everything, and I couldn't be happier. Like well, okay, happy as a stretch because the hormones are still hormoning, but I couldn't feel better, if that makes sense. Like I went on birth control when I was 15, 16, and then I had the intrauterine device since my second year, so that was 2023. And then I took it out in my fourth year because then I had surgery for a cyst. Like it just wasn't, full stop. So that's a bit of trauma dumping, I guess, because sure, the pill, like I gained so much weight because the first pill I took was a mishap. Then I took another one, and that one contributed to a lot of weight gain. Mind you, it was COVID, so it was just, like it was so much. Pick a struggle, girl. So yeah, but I don't really, I mean, you live and you learn and you grow, I guess. Like I'm not fretting. I feel like it's the joys of being a woman and discovering your body, you know what I mean? Like I'm not, obviously would I change some things? Of course, but I know that it's just contributed to the woman that I am today. And the things that I know, like sometimes I feel like you have to experience to learn. Like obviously some of my friends could have told me, yeah, this happened to me, and I'm like, you're hectic, and I feel for them. But experiencing it is on a whole other level. So yeah, now I'm off of everything. I'm balancing my hormones naturally, I guess. Or they're probably balancing themselves. I'm probably not doing anything about it, but they're balancing themselves. I feel good. I have my period back, which I never thought I would be happy to say, because girl, on the IUD you actually don't experience a period, and I loved it for like the first 2 months. Then afterwards I was like, okay, this is a bit sketchy, because obviously a female is meant to experience a period, you know what I mean? So a part of me was like, oof, I don't feel like my body is working naturally. And mind you, these are all my personal opinions. I'm not projecting this onto anyone else. What you do with your body is your choice. This was my choice. So yeah, that's a bit of lore on my wellness journey. It really kicked off my wellness journey, because something else that I struggled with was tummy issues, but I'm not even going to get into that because that's a story for a whole other day. Like, if you think I yapped for a long time about this, wait till you hear about all of my stomach issues. Anyways, so that's why I'm such a big advocate for gut health. If you follow me on Instagram and stuff like that, like, I've done some campaigns with brands that I really believe in that focus on like wellness and gut health, and you know, so it makes me quite happy to have done stuff like that, because it's truly what I believe in. A lot of the campaigns and content collaborations that I do are things that I believe in. In the beginning, girl, I'll never forget, there was this one video that I did, and mind you, this was like my first couple of months of content, and I actually started off making food videos, but then it was a bit like unsustainable because I was a student and girl who is cooking meals to be able to post that 3 times a week, like, it was just much. So that was how I actually got into content in the first place, and I love cooking videos. It's quite difficult to manage, I'm not gonna lie. So I started off with a cooking account, and there was this one collaboration where, shame, I low-key did it for the bag. I'm gonna be honest, I did it for the bag, and it's okay because it wasn't food that I would consume, and that was the first and last time I was like, nah, yeah, no. I don't even think that video exists anymore, and a part of me is grateful, because I don't know if I would want that on the internet to promote something that I don't necessarily eat or believe in. Like, it's just, you're so unethical, girl. Like, why are you even making content in the first place? But yeah, my lips are even dry from talking so much, but that's a bit of the gist about me. I really hope to, obviously I'd like to post here to, you know, create video diaries and stuff, but I'd love to create a community of like-minded people who are either figuring out their 20s, or young adults living it up and figuring it out, or even people who have figured it out, older people, younger people. Like, I'm more than happy to allow anyone in, if that makes sense. I think opening up your life to something like YouTube is a huge commitment, because I know this is something I would want to take seriously for myself, but it's even nicer if there are people holding you accountable. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I haven't posted in ages, which I hope isn't the case, but you never know with the schedule, that someone could be like, hey, you haven't posted on YouTube, and you know, it holds one accountable. Because I've got such exciting stuff happening in the second half of the year. Well, technically in the second half of the year. It's the day today, 13th of June. So yeah, technically, or 18th of June. I want to also document that, because I'm so excited. I'm gonna be where the people are. I'm gonna be, at the end of the year, I'm gonna be in such a fun production. Sure, can't wait, honestly. Like, it's gonna be, obviously I don't know what to expect, because, you know, but my preconceived notions is that it's gonna be a fun affair. Can't wait for her. So I'd love to document that. Like, being able to document, like, well, it's actually not my first big girl job, because my first big girl job was at the beginning of this year, but just on a grander scale, I guess. So my first big production. Oh, not my camera flashing. Woo! The battery's flashing. So that's the tea. That's what I get for talking for 15 minutes. I'm just gonna sort out my eyes, but I'll either see you when I'm done self-taping, or as I set up my setup. Okay, so the self-tape requires me to sit, so I'm going to show you some of my self-tape setup bits. Sorry, my apartment is currently in a mess just because I had to haul up my lights bag. So this is the lights bag I have. It's actually meant for tripods, but it works perfectly for all of my self-taping lights and my main big tripod. So I'm just going to have to move my vacuum cleaner and just reorganize this entire setup. I might need to use a mic for the self-tape because the wind, I don't know if you can hear it. I hope you can't, but you most likely can. The joys of being an actor in 2026. I say it like I'm not happy. I am super happy to be doing what I love. I just love it when the weather is on my side too. is how I like it, I guess. Oh my gosh, there are so many sounds. Self-taping before 3 p.m. Lush, but where I live it is so noisy. My way to test out my mic, I don't know if it's a good thing or not, is that I blow into it. So obviously you can tell whether it's picking up on the mic or on the phone. My way to test out my mic, I don't know if it's a good thing or not, is that I blow into it. Perfect. Good to go. Sorry girls, we moved on over to my phone just because I had to let my camera battery charge. That self-taping took longer than I thought, but it's mostly because one of the notes from the casting director was that we should have fun, and I fear I got a bit carried away. Like, I was proper having fun with it, so it took longer than anticipated. But I'm 7 minutes out. Well, I have 7 minutes until my vocal lesson, and I think I'll get there in like 5 minutes, so we're good. But flip, that was so much fun. Love a good self-tape. Love a self-tape that makes sense, one that's fun to do. I just need to ask my vocal coach nicely if she doesn't mind me sending it through in the first 5 minutes of our lesson. But we have an hour and a half because my vocal test starts at 2 and this needs to be in at 3. So I don't want to cut it too short and do it afterwards because I always like to be on time with self-tapes and stuff. So I'm due to perform soon at an event in Cape Town called Musical Mondays, which is quite exciting. I've been watching it since... Who's the camera? Did it catch me? I've been going there and supporting since my second or third year. So it's quite nice to be able to perform amongst absolutely talented theatre and vocalists and all of the sort. So I'm quite excited. So that's what I'm mainly preparing for in my vocal tat this afternoon. It's on the 27th of July. So if I post this beforehand, get your tickets, girl. Get your tickets. No, this isn't for mommy, this is for YouTube. My aunt and I got such good goods. We got the goods at Rethread. Oh, you must see her dress. Her dress. I should have taken a picture. I got some nice denim pants. It was a lovely, lovely experience. Jess helped us shop. She is sensational. So yeah, that's what the day's looking like, girls. This is where we are for lunch. Well, breakfast for several of us.
Yes.
Do you want to feature?
I'll feature on here.
That's Danielle. Hi, Danielle. Here we've got Gabriel, who you can't see. And here we've got, okay, Gabriel. Yes,
Okay,
Gabriel.
I'll feature now.
Yes, Gabriel. And then we've got Sky. So I'm waiting for my smoothie bowl because shame, I came a bit later. So you got over there.
I've got the Nourished BLT. So it's got tomato, lettuce, cashew nut cheese, a avocado, aioli, red onion, and smoked tempeh.
Absolutely.
Fake
Absolutely.
bacon.
And a mocha.
And a mocha. We both have the same thing.
Acai bowl.
Blazing berry.
Blazing berry. Is it not acai? Wow, traders. This is my acai bowl. So we've got some apple slices, some strawberry. There's coconut flakes, but I'm actually not really a fan of coconut flakes, I'm not gonna lie. So I'll dust that off somewhere. Goji berries and granola, and I asked for extra almond butter because I love good almond. Please go ahead, guys. Please, they're just sitting here looking at me. I actually have a meeting in like 15 minutes with a brand. I'm going to be going on my first, oh, speaking of, here's a message. It's in about 13 minutes, so I just want to get comfy. Okay, I just want to get comfy for this meeting. It's over Teams and I'm going to be traveling with them, which is really exciting. It's like technically like my first ever brand trip, which I'm really excited for. I just want to get myself nice and comfy for that. I'm also a bit cold. I feel like I should make a warm beverage, you know, because after that acai bowl I was feeling quite cold. Like the weather in Cape Town isn't super hot, it's not super cold. The sun is out, it's a beautiful day, but I always feel like that comes with T's and C's in Cape Town. It's still chilly somehow. So I'm gonna make like a nice cup of tea that I can drink whilst in this meeting. I might also just change to pants because the skirt is... I'm breathing! What tea should we do? So this is my tea setup. All my mugs and stuff. Don't mind the protein powder and creatine. I'm thinking of like a hibiscus tea within the antioxidant vibe, like acai bowl, hibiscus tea. What else would you want? Goodness. I'm gonna be so... all the toxins in my body are gonna come out. I'm a loose leaf tea girly. I don't know why I'm out of breath. I'm freezing. I just prefer to use loose leaf tea. Number one, it's better for the environment because then you aren't throwing like a whole bunch of tea bags away. Number two, it's actually better for your hormones as a female because tea bags, if made incorrectly, like I know a whole bunch of tea bags now say they're compostable and stuff, but they actually leak microplastics into your tea, and you obviously consume that. So I'd rather just change my life where I can, you know? Alrighty, we're back. I'm just doing some of my skincare because since I'm having a chilled evening, I just want to do a face mask, you know, be in girl world. I'm gonna use the Biodance face masks. I love these just because they like dry onto your skin, and one thing that I love is I like to leave the face mask on. And I know that's not good for your skin. I know obviously that's not the recommended amount of time, but I love these ones. So I can just leave it on and carry on with my life. It just makes a whole lot of sense. You can get them at ARC, I believe, and there's also like the Skin Republic one, the Skin Republic Hydrogel Girly. I just still have these from when I traveled to the UK. No, when I traveled to Dubai end of last year. Oh, look at me. When I traveled to Dubai, I didn't mean it like that. Like when I went on holiday with my mom. Oh, it is so cold. I'm so excited. Electric blanket is on. T is gonna bring face mask on like the night we're about to have. And I surprisingly don't sleep badly with these face masks on, because I'm quite a deep sleeper when I'm in my environment. When I'm in an unknown environment or a different one, unfamiliar one, ooh girl, I'll wake up at the sound of a penny dropping. But when I'm in my bed with my pillows and my space, I feel sublime, darling. I feel like that's the only child in me, girl. Like, oh, and I've been seeing so much slander over only children. Are you actually kidding me? And I get it, because obviously you can't actually generalize, because there's a whole lot of different only children situations. There's only children with two parents, like in a two-parent household. There's only children with single parents. Like there's only children, like there's just different factors. There's different levels to this. So I actually don't think it's fair to generalize that all only children are the same. I think you can be like, they share a tendency, but like, oh yeah, only children act like this. Not really. Like I'd say, yeah, the number one trait I would say I probably have is the wanting my own space thing. That's why I'm thriving now. Like love, and I wouldn't necessarily call myself an introvert. I think I'm an ambivert, whereas like an ambivert where I can socialize with people, but then I certainly deep down in my heart of hearts need my alone time afterwards. Oh my goodness, I need my alone time. It's actually not even funny. This is a really weird angle. I'm gonna bring you here. Oh, that looks mortifying. Wow, I've been speaking like that the entire time. How am I? Anyways, let us make some tea. I think it's also because it's quite late at night. This is when I like, you know, reprogram my life. This is what I should be doing. This is, you know, reinventing like iPad on Pinterest. So I think it's time to wind down. It's actually time to stop talking. That's the number one takeaway here. It's time to stop talking. Sure. Because one thing I can do is ramble. Jeepers, girl. Can you actually talk more about yourself? And it's such a pet peeve of mine. Ooh. Like, there's a difference between relating something to yourself. Like, if someone's like, oh my gosh, yeah, I climbed Mount Everest, and someone's like, yeah, I also like would love to do something like that. And then if someone's like, I climbed Mount Everest, and you're like, I've always wanted to climb, you know, and then you kind of steer the conversation to yourself. Like, there's a difference of agreeing and acknowledging the person's feelings and acknowledging the fact that you can also relate, than false acknowledging, and then now you're steering the conversation to yourself. That's the one that finishes me. And of course you can talk about yourself, girl, it's a conversation, but if that's your tendency, cut the cameras, count me out, girl. Because, well, what are we actually getting from this conversation? What, like, am I listening to your autobiography? And of course, I'm more than happy to hear about someone, but you can always feel like when someone actually doesn't care about what you have to say. Yo, anyways, let me make some tea. Good morning. Happy Saturday. So I'm heading with my aunt to me and B just because she leaves on Tuesday, I leave on Monday, and they're not open tomorrow, so there isn't enough time for us to go and check it out. And she loves a good local spot. Like, one thing about my family is we will support local. As it stands, we have a chilled day today, chilled Saturday. My plan, I'm just doing my eyebrows in this mirror. The plan is to go to a wine farm, and then, well, no, I'm first gonna start off with me and B because my aunt and I want to go check what's going on there. This is probably like the least realistic weekend. Of course, like, I do browse the shops, but I think because my family's here, I'm outside, or I feel like I'm all over the place. So it's a nice time to start, but I also feel like it's a bit unrealistic. Like, I'm not always going to the shops every day, especially on a weekday. So just take this vlog with a little bit of pinch of salt, okay? Like, with the smallest pinch of salt. Showing my new pants from Rethread. I don't think I showed you what they look like. They're these like short barrel shape vibe denim, but it like cuffs off at the end. Ooh, what a size. It cuffs off here at the end. So I thought, just because I'm casually strolling around the towns and everything. It's done. What did you do?
Let me try and be a content creator.
I'm headed to my friend Lavisa's house because she was invited to this event, and I'm tagging along with her. Love it, do it for the plot. So I'm headed there now because I'm renting out a cocktail dress. So she has a business. Get to know, if you ever want to hire out a dress, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna go over to Curvy Rentals on Instagram. She had the assortment of dresses she has, it's actually unheard of. I have never heard of someone with so many dresses, like, and good ones, like proper gorgeous dresses. I know I'm sorted. I'm set for the longest time with hiring and wearing dresses for events. I'm sorted. Look at this. Look at the view. Oh, this is my friend Lavise.
Hey, vlog. Also, I have this new light.
Bruschetta with fake. Okay.
Yeah. We know French, guys.
But the other stuff was nice. Like that, the meaty stuff.
The first chicken Mexican thing.
As soon as you walk through the door, man.
I was so... Thank you so much.
We are enjoying life, guys. Like, the food keeps coming. We are so here for it. Oh my word. Yo. Like, yo, it keeps coming. Bye bye! Perfect, thank you. Now with my hair.
It's my new hair. Very nice. Oh yeah, it's similar to my twist at the bottom.
Yeah.
Did you tell her? Or is it just
No, he's good. It's a gentleman. He's really good at doing hair. He's very detailed. He'll do things like slowly. I can't remember which one this is. This is the crudo. Oh, that's mozzarella. So this is the crudo sandwich. It's delicious. I believe it has prosciutto, mozzarella, tomato, rockety bits, all my favorite things, and like a sun-dried tomato paste vibe. And then this is the mortadella. My aunt and I got one and then we swapped each half. This is the mortadella one. I'm still trying to decide which one I prefer more. But both are my vibe. It's like 1 p.m. now. I'm starving.
yeah. I also told myself I'm not gonna eat anything. But you know, I spent so much time. I walked around the whole of London.
They have everything.
Yeah.
I've been home for a minute now, so I'm trying to adjust. I don't know if you can see the actual vision here, but I had this last year around the same time, and what I like to do is like tie it up and like mix and match it. All the perks of going to the hair salon early on a Sunday, like it was such an ordeal because the workers were late, and they originally told me that they open on at 8. But I believe now, Shane, maybe because of winter they moved to opening at 9. I didn't know that, so I was late for 8 but early for 9. I think I got there at like 1:45 because you also just didn't want to just get there at like 8 a.m. I feel like I look like that meme of, you are one of my elite employees, you have been promoted, like, because I think she had a bob and the glasses, so I feel like I look like that diva. But anyways, we're gonna make some banana bread. It's banana bread o'clock. The recipe is on my cooking account, Azandelicious. That's where you'll get like the full recipe vibes, but I went past Woods on my way out because yeah, I just wanted to leave. I wanted to get out of there, out of the mall. So I'm gonna calm my nervous system down by making some banana bread. Oh, there goes my butter. My butter is starting to brown. I love to make a brown butter, and you know, I used to actually be an op for brown butter. I'd be like, oh no, it makes things too like, because you know when you eat something with butter and it leaves an awkward film at the top of your mouth. I don't even know if that makes sense, but that does that for me, like where you go, or you had a cookie and it's got brown butter, so like it's got too much butter. So that's what I thought that brown butter was, but I realized that was just margarine. Way to know that your butter has browned perfectly is when it starts releasing like a nutty smell. Not me looking for my own recipe for the exact measurements. Deep the banana bread is the male equivalent of flowers, so I had every intention to make this look like women. I'm gonna let her cool for a bit.